Hi there, and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. Right here beside me is my 2019 Ram 2500. I introduced you to this truck back in December and told you how it's been treating me. Now, a number of sharp-eyed viewers back then wrote in and said, hey, those are not the OEM tires. And no, they're not. They're actually Toyo open country AT3s. Now, I couldn't talk about them then because we were simply testing them, but now these tires are available in Canada, and what you're going to see now is my full report. So these Toyo open country AT3s are just the next in the line of open country AT tires. They've been around for a while. However, they continue to improve things. So several things that they want you to know. Number one, these have the winter snowflake designation. They also say they have improved weather traction and a new block arrangement. And we'll look at that in a minute. So these tires are somewhere in the middle. This is not a full-on hardcore off-roader, because they do have decent on-road manners as well. But the one thing that I particularly like is with that snowflake designation, I plan on running these all year round. I want to mention off the top that these AT3s are a series of tires, meaning that they come in passenger sizes as well as light truck, everything from 15 inches right up to 22. So these are 20s, but I don't want you to get the impression that these are just truck tires. This applies to, like I said, a large range of vehicles. So Toyo says that this pattern is a new block arrangement, and it does a couple of things. One is that it creates a larger contact patch for this tire, and also these shoulders have been redesigned to give you a lot more bite here when you're getting into sloppy stuff. And that's actually the kind of things that I've been paying attention to while I've been driving it. And to that point, I've only got about 3,000 kilometers on these tires. However, I put them on in November, so they really have been doing their job in the worst of the crap that we can dish out in Canada. So let's talk about the good and bad on these Toyo open country AT3s. But before I get into that, let's talk about tire wear. So if I'd been running these for a year or two, I'd probably have a much better sense of how they're wearing, not to mention having gone through all 4 seasons. I can't really do that right now. So while I normally don't talk about warranties, I will throw to the fact that Toyo is offering 5-year, 80,000 kilometer warranties on the LT tires. And if it's a passenger tire, same 5-year, but 105,000 kilometers. So they're quite confident that, you know, they're going to last through that. And when you cross shop these, you're going to find that those numbers are not only competitive, but in some cases quite a bit better.
And this is probably obvious, but we can't comment on the longevity of the tires today. But maybe a year or two from now, well, watch for that video and we'll let you know how these things do over the long haul.
There's certainly no doubt that as I continue to do these videos about my ownership experience into the future, I will certainly let you know if anything happens with these tires. Observation. So let's get the bad out of the way first. Fuel economy. It has gone up. Approximately 1 liter per 100 kilometers. If I'm real gentle with this big Cummins, I can do about 11.5, or at least that's what I was doing when I was running the OEM, strictly summer, highway, low rolling resistance type tires. So with these, I've definitely got more rubber on the road, and my consumption has gone up, like I say, about 1 liter per 100 kilometers. Now, for my American friends, that's the difference between 19.5 miles per gallon on the OEM tires and 18 miles per gallon with these new Toyos.
And that's pretty normal for ATs, you know, over the years, just hearing from guys' experience. 1 or 2 miles per gallon is almost what you should expect bumping up the all-terrains. Anything more than that, I'd say, is really bad. So really, 1 liter per 100's not so bad.
I mention it simply because it is another cost, and quite honestly, I came into this not really thinking too much about it, but over the first month really starting to notice my averages were going up, and so I figured it out.
Yeah.
When we're looking at the tire, you see that aggressive tread. You also see what they've done with the shoulders on the tire. Toyo specifically says, you know, that these will bite more, and the reason I bring that up is, yeah, when you get into loose slush, dirty snow, mud, yeah, they bite and they fling. That's the funny part. They fling, and they fling outside of the wheel well. So don't be at all surprised if you get these tires on and you're going down one of these roads and suddenly there's a lovely shower coming up and over the mirrors on either side. And it's not excessive, but enough that I noticed it and I went, oh wow, okay, I see that's what aggressive tread is going to do. Really, that's what I've got to say in terms of any downsides or bad things about the tires. My list of good points is maybe just a little bit longer, starting with the top one, which is they're quiet. And that's a big deal. It's certainly a big deal to me. I'm an old and grumpy guy, and the last thing I need is a noisy tire doing this when I'm going down the road. And that was the thing that, quite honestly, I was most concerned about getting into this type of a tire, because the OEM tires were nice. They were quiet. So these, the noise difference is almost imperceptible. So that's a big deal, and I'm happy about that. You see the pictures of the tires, and these are very tall sidewalls. Now, you'd think that perhaps they'd be a little mushy, maybe washing a little bit into the corners, and that's something that I kept looking for. Empty as also when I was towing, and I can tell you absolutely that no, they don't wash and they don't roll. So they're stiff enough that they work really well. No concerns there.
You know what, a tire like this is usually a bit heavier than your OEM tires. So how about off the line? Do you feel any kind of power or less power than you did before? Or, you know, rolling resistance wise, do they feel the same?
This is a Cummins diesel. There's no loss of power.
Fair enough. There's no doubt that with all of that torque, it's going to be harder to feel. But still good to know that, yeah, bumping up to the ATs doesn't make it feel, you know, big and heavy and bogged down.
So I like to get the important tech stuff out of the way. Also, my considerations on, you know, what's going to be practical, what's going to get the job done. But you know what? I like a good looking tire as well, and when I got these on, particularly with my blacked out rims, I gotta admit, I stood back and I went, damn, that looks good. They just look really, really good on this truck. So it does the job, it looks good. All in all, I'm happy with this, and as I said, whenever I'm talking about this truck in future videos, I'll let you know if there's anything going on with these tires. But as of today, even if I did spend my own money, I think I'd be very happy with them. Well, folks, that's about all I can really tell you about these new AT3s. And frankly, I feel like I've talked too much anyway, so Steve, why don't you take it home?
Well, yeah, that is it for this video. Of course, we want to hear your opinion. Please go below, let us know what you think of these AT3s, or if you own all-terrain tires, please weigh in and let us know what you think of your tires. Maybe we'll compare them in the future. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and then come right back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next. See ya.
Thanks.